This conference will now be recorded.
Navigation and IMG screen today. So as I said, when you log in, there will be two screens. When you log in, there will be two screens. The one is easy access screen. That is the first screen when you log into the system. You would see. Okay. So yesterday we started discussing about this screen, and we are done until those who missed those sessions. Those videos are uploaded in the folder. You listen to those videos, at least complete them in this weekend. So when you look at the screen, we discussed until here. The next one, application toolbar. Here we have just icons of certain actions. Each icon performs certain action. These are not something different from what we have in the main menu. For example, if you keep the cursor on this icon, it tells, take me to SAP menu. Here also you have the same thing. Either you click this or click this icon. Next one, SAP Business Workplace. You have it here. Okay. So we have various icons here. We don't need to learn all it now. I'll tell you the icons that we need to practice. Okay. So you guys don't see what screen I'm accessing. Okay. You focus only on the icons. I'm explaining the icons, not the applications. So when you go to some application, so these are the icons, guys, that we need to use regularly. Okay. You need to be familiar with these icons. So whenever you see this icon, it's a create button. This button is called create button. Create a record, create an employee record. For example, I take employee that is who is already hired in the system. Okay, don't worry about this data, you don't need to practice this, just listen. There is communication information I need to create. What is the email ID of employee, what is the contact number of this employee, I have to create. Does it exist right now? No, it doesn't exist. Address exists, you see the tick mark. Employee own data exists. Okay, employment data exists, but communication data doesn't exist. I want to create the record. So select communication and create. It's like I'm creating a record. I'm creating a new record. Which one? Email. I create email and then I click on save. That's what create button. For example, I'm creating I created a record and I click on save. The record is saved. Another thing that you need to notice is you see the response from the system here, record created in a green color. So this bar is called status bar, which will show you the system responses. The status bar will show you the system responses. Green color message is nothing but success message. You have done successfully. You created a record successfully. The now record exists. Suppose I give a incorrect data. I give a incorrect data. I mean incorrect email ID. I should change it, right? Then we have icon, change icon. Okay. I am changing it. Save it. That is called change. If you are changing something existing, okay, if you are changing something existing, then you need to use a change icon. Okay, you are creating a fresh record, then you need to use create. And you want to view the data in this. You don't want to change or delete. You want to view the data in this. You click on this goggle symbol. View it. This is the one you created. Okay. You click on back symbol to go back to the previous screen, or F3, keyboard F3. Then you want to copy another mail ID. You want to create another mail ID. So what you can do is you can directly go to create. But I don't want to create directly. I want to copy from existing one. And I want to copy from existing one, give an extension. Okay. So select the record, copy this record, create a new record. When you copy, it's like creating a new record again. What is the advantage of copying? You are copying the data of existing record to the new record so that the data is passed as it is. Now you make the change wherever it is required. So look at how many records are there. Show me all the records. Click on this button, radio button, we call it as a radio button. This icon is an overview icon. Show me how many records exist. Okay, if you want to view one by one, select display one by one. First record, this is a navigation, next record. Previous record, next record. All at once if you want to view, select all, click on overview. See, I copied the existing record so that the same date and the data copied to the new record. I made only this change, extension. So whenever you want to create a new record which is similar to the existing record, two options. Either you go for new entries, creation, or you copy it so that the data of existing record is copied as it is to the new record. Okay, so you can make the changes, small changes, wherever there is a difference, wherever you want to have a difference. You don't need to change entire record. That's the intention of copying, right? Okay, I want to take the same data of existing record and make the changes. That's copy. So instead of copying, you can also use always create option. Both are to create new records only. Both are used to create a new records. Okay, one is directly a fresh record, another one is copying from the existing record and create a new record. Are we clear? This four?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next one, delimit. Delimitation is common because the entire HR data, employee data, is effective date based. Entire employee data is effective date based. Okay, so what it means is, for example, when you hire an employee, this company started paying you the house rent allowance regularly in every pay period. Okay, house rent allowance, they decided to pay from date of hire to this, because they don't know what is the stop date, end date. Okay, so when there is no end date, we use this date as a default end date, infinitive. Okay, so all of a sudden the company wants to stop this payment for the employees effective from 2022, January 1st, 2022. Okay, so what you have to do is you need to delimit this record. How do you delimit this record? To what date do you delimit record? Anyone?
31st December 2021.
2021. That's what it is. This is called delimitation. Generally, this delimitation will happen to the employee data when he is leaving the company. We delimit certain records to the termination date of an employee. Clear? House rent allowance. Just example. So that's what is a delimitation, guys. Delimiting a record. Okay. Or they want to delimit and create a new record, also fine. They want to delimit HRA and create accommodation. Company is giving accommodation. That's why they wanted to stop paying allowance. So they can delimit the previous record, create a new record with a company owned accommodation. This one, delete a record. I'm deleting the record. That's what it is. So this status bar will show you the system response. The system response you will see in 4 colors. Green means success message. Whatever you wanted to do, it is successful. Yellow. Warning message. And a minute, guys. Use this code. Okay. And information messages, gray color. Info. The red color. Warning. Sorry, error. Okay. So these are the 4 types of messages. You can ignore by just clicking on enter. Okay, enter click. All these 3 can be ignored by clicking on enter, but not the red color. The red color one, the error must be fixed. Then only you can go to next step. And move further. Okay. Just you can ignore these 3 messages by clicking on enter. Whenever you get a yellow color message, don't send me the screenshot, sir, we are getting this error. Read that message carefully and understand what is that yellow color message. It is not an error, it is a warning. You can still move further by clicking on enter a couple of times. Okay. See, if you double click on this message, it will give you a detailed explanation of the message. Okay, if it is a error, let me show you one error example. In the same screen, I try to delete something. What does it say? A record cannot be deleted because of the time constraint. This time constraint is going to be our next session. Double click on it. Record cannot be delimited. Okay. So here at this stage, there is no detailed explanation, but let me show you. Yeah. Enter. It says fill in all required fields. When you click on enter, it will give you the message. What is the reason for the error? What is the response meaning? How to rectify that error? How to rectify that error? When you double click on this message bar, you will get the details of that message. Clear? So these are the regularly used icons, guys. And also a few more. Here you see. Focus on icons. Don't focus on application. What is this payroll driver screen and all? This is not relevant now. Focus on just icons. This is execute application. You are initiating application. See, when you write a program, you use control R to execute and test it, right? Whether it is working or not. So this is the execute button. Okay. Now when you see this icon, this buttons, these are radio buttons. In what case SAP gives the radio buttons? See, these two radio buttons are in one box, right? And this is called radio button group. Why does SAP give radio buttons? It's when you have to select either this one or this one with the either or condition. But one selection is mandatory. Either you select this or select this. That is mandatory. That's when the radio boxes are given. Similarly, here you see radio button group. It has a 3 radio buttons. Either you select this or select this or select this. You cannot select multiple at a time, but one you can select, and one is mandatory. Understood? Radio buttons. Okay, you may have a 2 radio buttons in the group, 3 radio buttons in this box, 4 radio buttons in this box. These 3 are in one group, right? So one radio button has to be mandatorily selected. Mandatorily selected. Okay, is it understood? Now check boxes. Look at check boxes. Check boxes are different. Every checkbox is like an optional one. So that means it's optional selection, not mandatory selections. You can untick both. You can select both. You can select one. Checkboxes means optional. Radio buttons means mandatory. Okay. One entry is mandatory. You understood this? All of you? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next. Whenever you see this icon in the field, it's a mandatory field. And that's the reason we are getting an error message. Fill in all required entry fields. Which one is the required entry field here? This one. If you remember in your banking portals, after a field there is a star. Certain fields there is a star. Okay. For example, IFSC code field is there. There is a star there. What does that mean?
It is mandatory.
It's mandatory. Without that you cannot create payee, right? Clear. There are certain fields, mandatory fields. In SAP, mandatory fields are recognized with the symbol in the field, like schema. It's not mandatory. Let me show you some other screen where the fields are mandatory. You see, this is mandatory field, SSN number here, right? Okay, SSN number, mandatory field. Is it understood? This is optional field. When you don't see that symbol, you may or may not maintain, doesn't matter. But unless you maintain the value in this field, you will not be able to save the record. Again, you are getting the same message. Done?
Yes, sir.
Next, drop down entries. Drop down entries. So this is a drop down entry or free text. It's a free text. You give any value, it will take it. But in the drop down, can you type anything? XYZ. I'm giving XYZ here. It is not allowing me to take it, to enter. You can select, when you say drop down, you can select any one of the entry that is listed. You cannot type anything on your own. That's a drop down field. Similarly here, when I keep the cursor here, it is showing me this symbol. This is another way of highlighting that this is a drop down field. SAP highlights it as a drop down field. Okay, that means you have to choose from the list. Where is the list? Click on the symbol. This is called F4 function key. F4 on a keyboard. F4 help. When you click on F4, it will show you the list. So you can choose any one of this entry. You can choose any one of this entry. Okay, then it will execute. Clear? It will execute. But if I'm giving something on my own, will it take it? It says ZXCY does not exist. F4 help. Clear? Okay, ZXYZ does not exist. So you can choose anything from the drop down. It will allow. But if you are giving you something on your own, if it doesn't exist in the drop down, then it gives an error. Similarly here, guys, suppose I'm giving something like something on my own. What does it say? It is not a valid entry. When you go to drop down F4, you will see many entries here. You give any one of them, it will take it. Okay, and this field is not a drop down. You give X, you give Y, you give Z, anything is fine. Similarly, same, when you go to your banking application, when you are creating a payee information, nickname and IFSC code, which is a free text, which is a drop down. Nickname, there is a nickname field, right?
Nickname is the pretext, sir.
Okay, and IFSC
And
code.
IFSC
Mandatory field.
So what is the difference? Why certain fields are drop down, certain fields are not a drop down, free text fields? What's the reason?
IFSC code already will bankers will maintain means create no, sir. That's the reason we don't know the what is the IFSC code, due to which we can select from the drop down. Nickname is the optional, which is known to us. It is our name.
Okay. See, IFSC code, the point is IFSC code validation is required, right? Whether it is valid or not, a validation is required. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if I give anything like XYZ, will it take? Will it allow me to save it? So when you enter something and click on save, the system validate, is it a valid IFSC code? How does it know? There is a table where valid IFSC codes are created in backend system. It goes to that table and see if that entry exists in the table or not. If entry exists in the table, and then it will fetch the data back, and then it saves the record. If entry does not exist, it generates an error at a front end saying it is not a valid IFSC code. But should it happen for the nickname? How does the system validate the employee name should be this or this? Right? The names are employee or customer specific. Customer wants to give a name as a XYZ, it's up to him. No validation is required. So it's like valid entry and not valid entry. Validation required field, validation not required field. That's the difference between a nickname field and then or a optional field and a required field, drop down field, sorry. Okay, free text field and the drop down fields. Clear? So there are many drop downs that you see. Okay, so and where these drop downs are created? Where are these drop downs created? In IMG screen, guys. We have not discussed about IMG screen, which we are going to discuss about IMG screen now. Are we clear with the easy access navigation, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So every activity on easy access is performed by transaction code. Clear? And the transaction codes are entered in the command bar. In the command bar. Okay. So now, how do we go to IMG screen? Let's discuss about IMG screen. What do you need to do to go to IMG screen? So here, guys, the transaction code you need to give is SPRO. Give the transaction code SPRO. Give the transaction code SPRO. Okay. Enter it. Enter it. When you click on enter, you will see this screen, customizing screen. Customizing screen. On that screen, click on SAP reference IMG button. Click on SAP reference IMG button. Okay, click on SAP reference IMG button. So when you click on SAP reference IMG button, you are in IMG screen. You are in IMG screen. Clear? Okay. So in IMG screen, like easy access screen is for every end user, right? Not just a HR end user, but finance and end user, sales, material management. Okay, similarly, this IMG screen is not specific to HR. HR is one part of it, one part of the complete customization of ECC. Okay, if you look at among all these IMG nodes, our HR is here, from here to here. Clear? From here to here, guys, HR. These are the nodes. We in front end screen, we called them as a transactions, right? Transactions. In a back end screen, IMG screen, we call these things as a IMG node, NODE. IMG node, NODE node. So you will be working on the module that you are responsible for customizing. You are a time management consultant, so you will be accessing this. You are a payroll consultant, you will be accessing this. Okay, you are a POM consultant, you will be accessing this. So I repeat it, how to come to the screen. Easy access. Access, give SPROT code, and then SAP reference IMG. Okay, so you can add, if you want, add SPRO in favorites. What should I use to add it in a favorites? What should I click on?
Insert transaction.
Insert transaction. Give SPRO. So that's what it is appeared here. This is already there here, guys. Okay, see, this is the easy access screen, right? So here, if you go to tools, customizing IMG SPRO, it's already there in the easy access screen. When you double click on it, you go to IMG screen only. Then you need to click on SAP reference IMG. Okay, there you see a display IMG screen. This is where we design the solution. So this is called backend screen of SAP. Okay, and this is accessed by who? Functional consultants only, not the users. Not the users. It is accessed by functional consultants. Okay, functional consultants. The users will not have access to this IMG screen. End users, the clients. No one from the client side will have access to this IMG screen. It is only the functional consultant who access this IMG screen. Okay. Now let's learn about navigating this. Each node may contain subnodes. Each node may contain subnodes. If you see this arrow symbol, there is a subnode in it. There is a subnode. Okay, there is a subnode. And again, a subnode can have subnodes. A subnode can have subnodes like this. Okay, see, a subnodes have subnodes, a subnodes have again subnodes like this. So when you don't see that arrow symbol, you see execute button. You see execute button. Every node in IMG is a table. These tables are called configuration tables. Configuration tables. See, this is so SAP EJXS. These are the basics but are important. So initially, this is implementation guide IMG. Implementation guide. Okay, this is accessed by who?
End users and admin.
Only end users. Only end users.
Functional consultants.
And functional consultants also. Why functional consultant use this screen?
To
For
verify
testing.
whether what
We are the one who give a training to the users, right? And we are the one who performs what? You remember unit testing
Yes, sir.
and realization? So without knowing this, in easy access screen, how do you train the end user and how do you test the configuration that you do in backend? Okay, so functional consultants. Functional consultants. Okay. This is, and here these are called transactions. Each activity that are performed by user are performed by transactions. This is IMG node. NODE IMG node. A node can have subnodes. Every node is a what? A table. Every node is a table. Okay. So we are not here to write the coding, right? We are here to maintain the data. Okay. Every node is a table. Every table is identified with the table number. Okay. Every table identified with the table number. So this table number usually it starts with a T. Okay. Or V underscore. Okay. Either it starts with a T, the table number starts with a T or V underscore. We will see the difference later. Okay. So what do we maintain here in IMG tables? What do we maintain here is configuration data, which is the enterprise data, not the employees data, enterprise data, company's data. If you are implementing SAP for the Redis lab, it's a Redis lab data we maintain in the backend tables. That's called configuration data. Redis lab, plants information, Redis lab, locations information, entities information, business units information, okay, departmental information, grades and levels, different types of employee groups, different types of work schedules, okay, different types of pay structures. What all we have in the Redis lab, we configure in IMG screen. That's why it is called configuration data. So these tables are called configuration table. Every node is a configuration table. Every node is a configuration table. Okay, so when you click on execute that node, you will be landed into the table. For example, this is the IMG screen, right? When you click on this node, you will see the table. Okay, so if you want to see the table number of this table, you see T522Z from the 800 client, T522Z. Okay, T522Z, and it is a client specific data or not. If you see the client number, it is a client specific. That means the data in this table 800 client is different. The data in 801 is different. The data in 001 is different. It's a client dependent table. We'll discuss about that later. For now, every IMG table is a table. Node is a table. Every table has a table number unique. Okay. Now this icon is a documentation about this node. Very useful. At every level in SAP, there is a documentation. Field level, table level, application level. Everywhere there is a documentation given. Even if you go to this forms of address, most of the fields are given with the documentation. Keep the cursor on it. What is the meaning of form of address? Keep the cursor and click on documentation, field level documentation. Clear? Keep the cursor and click on field level documentation. Clear? And at a table level documentation is this. What do we do in this table? That is actually the beauty of SAP. Every table is provided with a documentation, guys. What actually this table is about and what data we enter into this table. Okay, why we use this table. Clear? So this is a table. This is the node and table. Okay. And how do we maintain entries in this table? How do we maintain entries in this table? For example, let's take another table, some easy table. Okay, so here you see the table. So every table has a unique key which is grayed out normally. The grayed out column in the beginning is a unique key. And every entry has a text. In table, what do you maintain? You maintain entries. What is that entry and what is the purpose of that entry, we discuss later. Just learn how to maintain the entry in the table. How to maintain an entry in this table. Okay. Look at this. Now we are in a change mode. We are in a change mode. When you are in a change mode in 800 client in this table, no any other user will be able to access the same table. It's like you are locking this table so that others will not be able to access the same. System does not allow two users maintaining a same table at a time. When you are in a change mode, nobody else can be in a change mode again. Say for example, I'm going to the same table on another session. Even the same user, same table, another session. This is the table I'm accessing, right? When I click on enter, it says what? The data of this table is locked by so and so user. You can find out his user details, telephone number and etc. Clear? Okay, now you want to display? Yes, only display. You can view it, but you cannot maintain it. What you need to do, you need to request that user to come out of the table. You are in urgency to maintain the data. You request that user over a mail or a phone so that he will be in a display mode. First icon is to get into the display to change to display. He will be in a display mode. He will shift into display mode or he will just exit the table. So when he is in a display mode, he is not locking it. So that the other user here can shift to change mode. Okay, can shift it to the change mode. And the next, you understood this? Display to shift and shift to change in the table locking. So one table can be accessed by only one user at a time, and that too on only one session at a time. All others can get into the table with a display mode, but not change mode. Is that point clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I want to add a few more entries in this table, new entries. New entries is option to create a few more entries. Assume these are the locations which are there in the standard. But Redis Lab also has the locations, their operations in other two locations. So we need to add them here. Go to new entries. Go to new entries. The first column is a unique column which is called ID of the entry. ID of the entry. The system recognizes the entry using ID. The end users recognize the entry using a description. So description is for us to understand, okay, this entry is so and so. But for the system, description doesn't matter. Description can be XYZ. For the system recognize that entry using the ID. So can I maintain 02? I show you once again. Going to new entries. Can I maintain 02? It doesn't allow me.
It's
Why?
already existing, sir.
Because I said this column, whatever is the grayed out column, is a unique key of the table. You cannot repeat the keys. Unique key means you cannot repeat the same key for another entry. Okay, let's say Z2. Will it allow? Allowed. So you maintain the description XYZ. Okay, Z3. I can give a same description. Description doesn't matter for the system. Descriptions can be repeated. But what you see in the grade out column cannot be repeated. Clear? The IDs cannot be repeated. So in this table, the ID is the 2 digits. In another table, the ID can be 3 digits, 4 digits, 5 digits, 10 digits also. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So it's saving transport request is generated. I'll show you what is it later. Go
So
back.
what is exactly PV, sir?
PV is the entry name. Okay? It's an entry name. What entry? It's a plan version, you see. So they give a name of it. Don't bother about those things. You will see these tables later. I mean, these entries. That's what I said. Don't focus on the what screen, what we are doing. Focus on these new entries and then change the display. That's all. Okay. So every entry in the table is maintained with the ID and then text. ID is mandatory, which is important for the system. System differentiate the entries using the IDs. So this is identified as the 22. This is identified as the 23 for the system. Okay. If it is going by description, it will be confused, right? There are 3 entries with the same name now. How does the system know? Right?
With unique
System.
ID. With unique ID system will get to know that
So
PV ID.
using ID, system identifies the entry. So this table is a 2-digit ID. If you go to another table, something here. And here the ID is a 4-digit ID. Clear? It's a 4-digit ID. The ID can be numeric. The ID can be numeric. The ID can be character. When it is a numeric, only numbers can be used in the ID. If this column is a character column, you can maintain either number or characters, both. So tell me, is it a character column or numeric column? The personal area column, is it a character column or numeric column?
It is alphanumeric.
It's a character column. Okay, character column, alphanumeric. Because you see, alphabets also used in the ID. If it is only numeric, you can only enter the numbers. You cannot enter alphabets. Okay, so let's see more icons in this table. See, this symbol, whenever you see, show me the complete details of this entry. Show me the complete details of this entry. Select it, display it. It will show you the street, first box and everything, city and everything. Clear? Okay. Show me the complete details of this entry. Details icon. Or when you double click on it, you will see the same thing. Either way is fine. You have to select that entry and then display icons. I mean, display details. Right? Now, next icon, copy icon, guys. Copy icon. For example, there is something here, best run chili. Okay, I want to copy the similar one with the same details. I want to have one more entry with a 7901 with the same details. Which is the best one? Going to new entries and creating all entries, or copying is right one? Which is the right one?
Copy create will save the time.
Both are correct, but the easiest one is, because I want the same field attributes. I use copy option. So select copy, select entry. This line I want to copy. You are telling the system I'm copying this by selecting it, okay? And click on copy option. Click on copy option. Okay. Then what I need to change? Should I keep the same ID?
No.
Can I keep the same ID?
No,
No.
system won't allow.
You need to. You can keep all the other data you want, but not the ID. ID you have to change and enter. Address also being copied. Okay. Address also being copied and save it. Clear? So where is it? This is the one you copied with the same description, same details. Now you change it wherever you want. You change it wherever you want, or else I don't want to copy. What is the option? If I don't want to copy, what is the option? To create a
Create
new
new
entry.
entries.
Go to new entries and type everything manually. Both are same. The impact of copying and creating both are same. I created one and I want to delete one. I want to delete the existing entry. So look at this. Select this entry. I want to delete this entry. Okay, select the entry that you want to delete and click on delete and save it. See, this is transport generated. I'll discuss this tomorrow. Is it clear? Deletion. Select all entries. Unselect all entries. Select block from here. Okay, I repeat this. From here, select it. Select block. End of the block. Again, select it. Or else, if selecting individual is comfortable to you, use this. Either way is fine. Done? Okay. This icon, address icon, postal symbol, you see? Address icon. Show me the address of this entity. Post box details, communication details, address details, and everything, company name details, everything you can see in the screen. This is called address screen, address icon. So whenever you are not maintaining any entries in the table, you are just viewing it. Okay, don't be in a change mode, you be in display mode so that you are not locking entries for others. You are not locking the entries for others. If you're in a change mode, you are locking the entries for others. Is that clear? So when you are in a display mode, you don't have an option of deleting entries, adding a new entries, copying entries, because those are editing options. So that editable options are not there. Okay. Now this position will help you to hit the entry directly. Go to that entry directly. For example, my entry is MU48. MU48. I can either scroll down one by one like this, or else go to position, take me to MU48 directly. That's the purpose of position. Clear? Or take me to the entry 3000. So position. So every table have these icons, guys. Just remember these icons. Okay. Clear? Is it clear to all of you? Going into the IMG screen.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
how we will come to know the table is numeric or character?
See, when One way is that you maintain a character. If it is not allowing, it's a numeric field. The other way is there is a technical way of doing it. Okay, that you cannot learn it now. After getting familiar with this screens and navigation, then I can show you that.
Sure, sir.
Any questions from anyone?
No, sir.
I didn't recognize some of the names. Who is Navadipika? Yeah,
Tell me, sir.
the name.
Navadipika, sir.
Okay, you're on the.
I want to know what is the
Next, Lenovo. Who is Lenovo? Please join with your names. I don't know who is joining, who is not joining. When you join directly, it either give you the admin name. Okay, the system admin names here directly. Okay, unless you maintain your name, it gives you the system admin name, username. So you maintain. I need to recognize who is joining, who is not joining. Okay, so we are not done with IMG yet. Okay, we will discuss this tomorrow. Remaining part of IMG. There are 3-4 sessions required to get into the configuration, guys. Okay, so there are 3-4 introduction sessions. Introduction in the sense basics only. Before we actually get into the topics. Okay, and
sir?
I'm going to share you uh, 3 videos, which is the topic is info types. Okay, so I want you to listen to those 3 videos during the weekend. That would be the topic in the next session. Okay, so I'll
Sir,
share
just
you.
wanted to know.
Yeah,
Sir, just wanted to know this. What is the significance of this planned version, sir? So far. Oh,
don't get into topics. Okay, so you have a time to learn them. Okay, so that is
okay, sir.
a topic in OM. I'm just explaining the introduction sessions. If I explain the OM plan version and all, there are many people in the training program. We are wasting their time. Yeah, if you need that topic specific, then you ping me in WhatsApp. I'll explain you. Anyway,
Okay,
we
sir.
are going to cover all these topics.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, now we can practice in this client 800. So add entries, delete entries, copy entries.
Yes,
Can
yes,
we
yes,
do it,
yes.
sir?
You choose any table and then practice. No problem.
Because we just want to do practice of this copy and of even we can do in IMG screen also, sir.
I'm the only right. I'm explaining. I'm the screen only. No.
In easy access.
In EG access, those are execution of applications. I did not cover them yet.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So
Okay,
those
sir.
applications are not only for maintaining the data, for retrieving the data, printing the forms, but IMG is to maintain the data in the tables. Okay, in EG access, maintaining the data is one of the entry, one of the activity. There are many other activities that we perform using applications. So I've not explained you any of them. Maybe from Monday you will see them. But IMG, yeah, you can practice IMG. Go to this table and access, see what happens.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, Lenovo. Who is Lenovo?
Hello.
Just ping me once. Navadipika, you also ping me once. Yeah.
Sir, will there be any change in timings or will it remain same, sir?
No. It will be moved to 8 to 9. That's what I told you, right?
Yeah.
Permanently, it will be moved to 8 to 9.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. See you tomorrow, guys.
Thank you, sir. Have a
Three
nice
more
day.
sessions. 3 more sessions at the same time. After that, it will be permanently moved to 8 to 9. So I'm sharing you the videos. I'll share you the videos, 3 videos. Topic is info types. Learn them well before I explain. So when I explain, it will be second time for you. Okay, it will be easy. So the entire SAP HCM is a topic of info types. It is a topic of info types. So you need to learn them properly. Okay, listen to those 3 videos during the weekend. See you
Okay, sir.
tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you, sir.